Macro recrystallization. Recrystallization is one method to purify a solid compound. You need a solvent that dissolves the compound well at a high temperature and poorly at a low temperature. Combinations of solvent are also used to recrystallize compounds. In this experiment, you will be purifying benzoic acid using water as a solvent in a macroscale experiment. You first have to dissolve the solute. For that, weigh about 1 gram of benzoic acid and write the exact weight in your notebook. Add the weighed benzoic acid in an Erlenmeyer flask and add the appropriate amount of water you calculated before you come to lab. Add a boiling stick to the solution and heat gently to boiling on a hot plate. Swirl periodically in order to promote dissolution and prevent bumping. If you believe the solution is very concentrated, add more water to prevent benzoic acid to crystallize in the filter in the upcoming hot filtration. The next step is the decolorization of the solution with activated carbon, also known as NORAD. In order to do that, let the solution cool down slightly below the boiling point and add about 5% of the weight of the original solute. Return the flask on the hot plate and resume boiling for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Although you are boiling the solution, you do not want to decrease the volume. If necessary, add solvent. Now you can perform a hot gravity filtration to separate the NORAD and undissolved impurities from the solution. Use a powder funnel, that is the funnel with the white steam, and fluted filter paper. You can prepare your filter paper yourself. Add a couple milliliters of the hot solution in the filter and make sure it goes through. If you see benzoic acid crystals in the filter paper, your solution is either too concentrated or not hot enough. In this case, you should add more water to the solution and heat up until it boils. Now you can add the couple next milliliters of hot solution. After the filtration, the solution should be allowed to cool to room temperature. You will see the formation of crystals. Don't move the solution during that time and let it cool down to room temperature slowly. Then cool the solution in an ice bath. Collect the crystals by vacuum filtration of the ice-cold solution using a Buckner funnel with a filter paper. Make sure to wet the filter paper right before you start the filtration. Scratch out as much of the crystals left over in the flask in the beaker as possible with either a rubber policeman or a spatula. Wash the crystals with 1 or 2 milliliters of cold distilled water and transfer the crystals in a tiered vial and let the benzoic acid air dry for at least 1 day.